Level 1, the fork appears like any other choice at 18. You hold cash, a phone, a playlist. Two small decisions sit beside each other. One is quiet, one is loud. You choose both paths at once. Split screen life. On the left, you tuck away $100 every month. It feels boring, invisible. On the right, you spend. You travel. You don't think about compounding. You call it living. You call it freedom. You don't feel rich on either path yet, but Tom answers differently. Compound interest is patient. It whispers, not shouts. Level 2. Your 20s stretch out like a late-night highway. Left a screen, you wake early. You learn small rituals. You set up automatic transfers. You read one article on indexing. You miss the trendy weekends sometimes. It feels like sacrifice. Your friends post dinners. Your weekend is a blur of blue-lit stories. You feel behind socially. Financial psychology sits heavy. Fear of missing out. The money mindset of your peers is loud. Right screen, you spend like you've already earned tomorrow. Trips, gadgets, impulse joy. You don't think about the time value of money. You can't see the invisible machine churning in the other life. It's quiet then, too quiet to notice. Level 3, late 20s. Left the screen, the account grows. Slowly, almost insultingly. You check every few months, little green numbers, a tiny boost. Not enough to brag about. It's boring to talk about. You try to explain compound interest at a party. People glaze over, but you begin to feel different in small ways. You sleep better. You say no without trembling. You have habits, wealth building habits, daily capital compounding. Right screen, your mirror shows a version of confidence powered by consumption. You plan to start later with a bang. You tell yourself you'll make up for lost time. You'll hustle harder at 30. Financial psychology rearranges itself into optimism. There's always time. Level 4, the switch. At 30, the right screen, you stand at the counter of a credit card statement and a life review. Something stings. Maybe a layoff, a rental increase, a friend's mortgage, the sight of a retirement number that won't reach the dinner menu you want. You start investing. Now, you double, triple your contributions. You plan to outrun the years you missed. Left screen, you keep the ritual. 100 a month became 200, became automatic raises into investments. The truth is blunt and cinematic. Time is a multiplier you can't buy back. The time value of money isn't theoretical. It is an experience. You feel it when you try to sprint and the other life is already halfway down the road. Level 5, collision. There is a milestone, a house, a health scare, a sudden job loss. Both versions sit in the same coffee shop one raw morning, the universe folding their paths into the same room. You look the same laugh, same haircut. But the ledger between your ribs reads differently. Right screen, you clutch fear, like a cold stone. The emergency fund is thin. The down payment is thin. The cost of pause is loud and immediate. You take a loan you didn't plan for. You sell things you don't want to sell. Left screen, you breathe. The quiet years pay the tax in patience that bought you options. You offer help without pomp. You open a door for them. You sit with them while they work through numbers. In another life, you would have felt guilty. Now you feel steady. Compound interest shows up here as room to move, as grace. It is not magic, it is margin. Level 6, late 30s into 40s. Now the gap is undeniable, not because of a spreadsheets, but because of weight. The invisible years that felt like nothing on the left now glow. You own small things that feel enormous, a cushion of months, a chunk of investments, confidence that your salary is not the whole story. You watch the right screen hustle. You see the visceral difference when crisis comes. They scramble to compress 10 years of missed time into bigger monthly contributions, into late nights, into stress. They measure success by immediate gain. You measure by resilience. The arithmetic of time does what it does. Early compounding becomes an unnoticeable seed that grows into a shelter. You whisper one phrase that feels like truth. The earlier you start, the less you have to do later. The emotional payoff is simple. Quiet years become peace in stormy ones. Level 7, reflection. You sit on a rooftop at dusk. Both versions are older here, a little softer at the edges. You think of the $100 monthly habit at 18. It felt like an alibi against the party. It felt like nothing when you were 25. Now it feels like everything. You know the lesson without needing numbers. Compound interest is a lived thing. Investing early wasn't about depriving yourself of music or coffee. It was about buying future calm. Financial psychology taught you a different courage, delayed gratification that becomes liberty. You also know the hopeful part. If you started at 30, you are not doomed. You can still build. You can still lean into wealth building habits today. Time is stern, but not cruel. It rewards earlier patience and it forgives late action. So you stand, hands in your pockets, you speak, because you remember being young and restless. Listen, start now. Not to chase guilt, but to anchor a future self. You can tilt the arc. You can cultivate a money mindset that isn't panic or denial, but a steady practice. The scene softens. The city lights flicker like compound interest itself, many small lights making something larger. And it's never too late to begin. And still, starting earlier changes everything. You leave with that twin truth in your chest. You're older and wiser for the things you did. You're kinder to the self who started late. Compound interest wasn't a math test. It was a slow, faithful friend. You made one small promise at 18, or you make it now. Either way, you are on a path forward. Your future self will thank you. You will meet them one day on a quiet morning, and the gap will speak. Not to shame, but to remind. Choose to listen. Choose to act. Choose to build.